Hi, I'm Steve Younis. Welcome to your Speeding Bulletin, the Superman news video recapping the events of the week August 14th to August 20th, 2015. Our top news stories this week included Michael Shannon shares an interesting story about Batman v Superman, we have a few more casting announcements for Supergirl, and John Romita Jr. apologises to Superman fans in our exclusive interview. Let's check out these stories and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, Warner Bros. CEO Kevin Chuzihara spoke to HollywoodReporter.com about their less-than-fantastic returns at the box office this summer and how pushing back Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice from 2015 to 2016 was the right move. And yes, he has seen a cut of the movie several times. He said, "Having seen the movie multiple times and again last night, I'm extremely confident it was the right decision to make the movie better, and it's so important for the studio to get the foundation right on DC." The People's Choice blog sat down for an interview with Batman v Superman costume designer Michael Wilkinson to ask him all about the film's costumes, working with Zack Snyder, and what the actors thought of the clothes they had to wear. He said, "We tweaked the Superman suit only slightly from our suit from Man of Steel. We streamlined plus sharpened the details of the costume a little to suit the more earthly, less alien context of the film." In an interview with Vulture.com, Michael Shannon told an interesting story about what happened to him while working on the set of Batman v Superman to reprise his role of General Zod. He said, "I was in my costume and I couldn't use my fingers because in the sequel I have flippers instead of hands. So I had these wax flippers on my fingers and I couldn't open the door." Now, while we saw that Zod's body was indeed featured in the Comic-Con trailer for Batman v Superman, I'm actually surprised that Michael Shannon returned to play Zod in this film. I figured they might use CGI to generate Zod's body rather than bring in the actor for such a minor role. But flippers instead of hands? Is this some new kind of motion capture garb? Is Lex Luthor experimenting with crossing a Kryptonian with an Atlantean? Or is Michael Shannon just pulling our leg? We'll have to wait and find out. In an interview with the Detroit Free Press to promote his new movie, The End of the Tour, Jesse Eisenberg spoke briefly about his role as Lex Luthor in the upcoming Batman v Superman. He said, "It's probably a very contemporary portrayal because there's some kind of psychological reality to it. I think that's a very contemporary idea." Speaking of Luthor, according to HeroicHollywood.com, rumour has it that Lex will solidify his villain status with Superman when he kidnaps Martha Kent. Now, we saw in Man of Steel how angry Clark got when Zod threatened Martha in his search for the Kryptonian Codex. However, the problem with this new rumour is that Lex Luthor kidnapping Martha Kent would indicate that he knows that Clark Kent is Superman. So take this one with a grain of salt. Warner Bros. Home Entertainment is distributing Lego DC Comics Superheroes Justice League Attack of the Legion of Doom on Blu-ray and DVD on August 25th. The film is now available via digital HD. In the clip you're watching, Lex Luthor is hatching the first part of his diabolical plan to create a villain's version of the Justice League. To do so, Luthor, along with guest judges Black Manta and Sinestro, hosts tryouts for the Legion of Doom, with all your favourite DC villains auditioning to join the team. Order the Lego Justice League Attack of the Legion of Doom animated movie on Blu-ray or DVD from our online store. In TV news, CBS confirmed that actor Justice Leak from The Vampire Diaries and Powers has been cast to play the villain Helga Might in the Season 1 of the Supergirl TV series. In the comics, Helga Might is actually entomologist Roderick Rose, who, thanks to some experimentation, is transformed into the insect-like villain who draws his name from the actual Helga Might bug. TVLine.com reported that Levi Miller, the young actor who played the role of Peter Pan in the big screen Pan origin movie, has been cast to play the son of Cat Grant in the first season of the Supergirl TV series. Miller is set to make his Supergirl debut in episode 4. Per the official character description, 12-year-old Carter is sensitive and shy and couldn't be more different from his mum. As Kara babysits her boss's son and gets to know him better, Carter finally opens up to her, revealing his true feelings for Supergirl. A series of behind-the-scenes photos from filming of the third episode of Supergirl were posted online this week, showing Melissa Benoist in the Supergirl costume between takes. She seems very comfortable in the tights and skirt. Don't forget that Supergirl premieres Monday, October 26 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS before moving into its regular 8 p.m. Monday time slot. In comic book news, you may recall that on Wednesday, August 5th at Bryant Park in New York, comic artist John Romita Jr. spoke with Superman homepage reporter T.A. Hewitt in an exclusive one-on-one video interview about his work on Superman. It seems John wasn't 100% happy with that video interview, as he contacted us for a follow-up chat. He said if fans don't take to the changes made, then he says, we didn't do a good enough job to please them. I didn't do a good enough job to please them. Artist Jason Fabok spoke with Newsarama.com about how writer Jeff Johns is pushing him to the breaking point drawing Justice League, and how he went about rendering Superman now that he's been corrupted by Apocalypse. He said with the corrupted Superman, the idea was to create this negative image of Superman. It's something I've always wanted to do in comic book art. In an interview with IGN.com, writer Jeff Johns and artist Jason Fabok discussed some key moments from Superman in this issue of Justice League. Jason said, I think that shot where Superman's bleeding, I think I redrew that face 3 or 4 times before it actually got to the point where I was happy with it. DC Comics announced that 25 of their main comic books being released in November 2015 will feature Looney Tunes variant covers. The Superman-related books included Action Comics number 46, Batman Superman 26, Justice League 46, JLA number 6, Superman number 46, and Superman Wonder Woman number 23. Later in the week, DC Comics released their November 2015 solicitations, and we highlighted for you all the Superman-related comics and products listed. Of special note was Superman American Alien number 1, in which Hollywood screenwriter and Eisner Award nominee Max Landis joins forces with top comic artists including Jock, Francis Manapul, and Jay Lee to bring you the first issue of a 7-issue miniseries chronicling the life of Clark Kent and his development into the archetypal hero he will eventually become. And Action Comics number 46, where once upon a time the idea that Clark Kent could be corrupted would have been unthinkable, but now one villain is about to take advantage of his troubles. As more and more people turn on the Man of Steel, how long before Superman turns to the dark side? What evil force is orchestrating all this? Check out the full list of Superman comics in the November solicitations at our website now. Comic books we reviewed this week included Action Comics number 43, which was reviewed by Michael Bailey, who said, the writing was strong but the whole idea is just faulty, and he rated this issue a 3 out of 5. Lisa Gossage reviewed Batman Superman number 23, giving it a 3 out of 5, saying, despite his self-doubting, Clark still acts heroically. Earth 2 Society number 3 was reviewed by James Lance, who gave it a 3 out of 5 score, saying, I find myself on the fence with this issue, this series, and much of DC's recent output. And T.A. Hewitt reviewed Injustice Year 4, Chapter 15, saying, the best thing about this issue was, ironically, that there was no fighting, and he rated this chapter a 3 out of 5. Superman comics available this week from August 19th include Injustice Gods Among Us Year 4, Chapter 16 digital comic has been available since August 18th, Bizarro number 3, Doomed number 3, which is available in a variant cover, Injustice Gods Among Us Year 4 number 8 print edition, Justice League Gods and Monsters number 2 print edition, Justice League number 43, which is available in a variant DC Bombshells cover, Superman Wonder Woman number 20, which is also available in a variant DC Bombshells cover, Superman Volume 6 The Men of Tomorrow hardcover, and DC Comics designer Jay Lee Series 1 Superman action figure. Cook in style with these fantastic Superman aprons, cooking utensils and other baking needs. Get yourself a DC Comics Superman logo kitchen spatula for $14.28. Or how about a Superman logo silicone baking dish for $17.09? These and other great Superman cooking items are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman Homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, Kotobukiya presents the latest entry in their lineup of artifacts statues based on characters from DC Comics, with Superman's greatest foe, Lex Luthor. Lex looks great in his shiny high-tech battlesuit and is a perfect addition to any villain or hero display. Just don't let him get too close to Superman. You can pre-order the Kotobukiya DC Comics Lex Luthor Artifact statue now ahead of its February 2016 release. In case you missed it, Michael Bailey and I were joined by Lois Lane Fallout author Gwenda Bond on Radio KAL Live this week, where we discussed her young adult novel, its sequel, Lois Lane Double Down, and much, much more. Check out the full audio interview at supermanhomepage.com/live. And to finish off, we present this animated short titled Animated Adventures Batman v Superman by animator Stephen Byrne. And that's all the news there was for the week August 14th to August 20th. I'm Steve Younis from SupermanHomepage.com.
Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another fabulous edition of Great Scott. I enjoyed being outside looking at the meteors so much last week that I decided, since it's summer, it's beautiful outside, I'd give you another outside edition of Great Scott. Surrounded by children's apparatus at the moment, and the reason for that is I hear a lot of complaining about the new Batman v Superman trailer, and it harkens back to the complaining that we heard about the Man of Steel trailer, and then subsequently the Man of Steel movie, when Jonathan Kent said to Clark, maybe you should let those people on the bus die, or those people in a situation die, or maybe you shouldn't help people. The implication was that this wasn't the Kents that we grew up with. This wasn't the Kents that always altruistically believe that Superman should be helping people no matter what the risk, and that that's just something we should do. Jonathan Kent would never say, maybe you should let people die in order to protect yourself. And in this case, we're talking about Martha and the new movie. Once again, they've killed off Jonathan Kent, which seems to be a staple that they continue to do, that continues to annoy me. But let's not talk about that now. We have Martha Kent, who is saying a similar thing, at least that's what I'm hearing from fans. There's a scene in the trailer after we see that many, many people are condemning Superman and saying he should get off the planet, and there's a whole committee that's trying to prove that he's responsible for the damage in Metropolis. And then you have Martha Kent, single mother. He's grown up now, but she lost her husband. The world was partially destroyed. She saw her son save it. She's grown through life with her son. She's seen him play on swings. She's seen him as a child. She's seen him running in the yard. She protects him, loves him like he was her birth son. He's not, but it's her son. And a mother is going to be very protective and defensive of her son. Now, she doesn't come out and say, Clark, screw those people. Let everyone die. Don't help anybody. She says, be their angel, be their savior, be here for them, show them the way, or don't. You don't know the name. Now that sounds like a mother to me. That sounds like a mother who is saying, you choose. I trust you to make the right decision for you and for the world. These people are showing that right now they clearly don't believe in him. They clearly don't feel gratitude toward him. A lot of people probably do, but the ones we're seeing in the trailer are being very hard on him, and as a mother, it probably breaks her heart to see this happening when she knows all he tried to do was help and do the right thing. So that's what I think we're hearing in the trailer. I think we're hearing the love of a mother, not necessarily the love of a person for the entire world, for the planet, who's going to throw curses at her son, who's going to throw eggs at her son, who's going to want to see her son destroyed. No. A mother who's saying, if these people are going to be like that, then we don't need to help them. You don't owe them. However, you still want to. You should. And she mentions 3 positive things you should do before she says, or don't. I'm sure she's pissed off. And Martha has the right to be pissed off, doesn't she? You? I certainly do. So why shouldn't she? It's a more realistic portrayal of the Kents as parents, as people, as human beings on the planet. Not as some magical, fantastical creatures that never do anything based on emotion. That wouldn't make any sense. Thanks everybody for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky.